Have you ever felt like you're just floating through life, wanting to change yet feeling stuck in the same old routines? Maybe at the start of every year you promise yourself, this time it'll be different. But soon enough, you're right back where you started. What if instead there was a simple, small way to make big changes? Today, we're exploring James Clear's Atomic Habits, a guide to creating the life you've been dreaming of, one tiny habit at a time. Atomic habits are small actions, small changes, that add up to massive results over time. Picture a plane traveling from New York to Los Angeles. If it adjusts its path by just 3 degrees, it will end up hundreds of miles away in Mexico. Our habits work the same way. Tiny changes, even just 1% improvements every day, will change your entire destination in life. It may sound simple, but that's the beauty of it. Small changes are all you need. This idea isn't new. In fact, there's a similar concept from Japan called Kaizen, meaning continuous improvement. Originally designed for businesses, Kaizen emphasizes small incremental improvements to make processes better over time. But while Kaizen focuses on efficiency in organizations, Atomic Habits makes these principles personal. Instead of refining workflows, Clear shows us how to build the life we want by designing habits that reflect our values and identity. It's not just about doing more, it's about becoming the person you want to be, step by step. So, what drives us to keep going? One key is dopamine, a powerful neurotransmitter that controls motivation. We often think dopamine is about pleasure, but it's actually about anticipation. Think about the feeling of excitement right before a vacation. Sometimes the thrill of looking forward to it is even better than the vacation itself. The same thing happens with habits. Dopamine spikes when we anticipate a reward, not necessarily when we get it. That's why learning to enjoy the process of building habits, and not just the end result, is so life-changing. To make habits stick, try pairing something you want to do with something you need to do. Clear calls this temptation bundling, and it's rooted in a psychological principle called the Premack principle. The idea is to bundle enjoyable actions with necessary ones, like listening to your favorite podcast while working out. This way, you begin to look forward to both. To understand how to change our habits, we first need to understand what drives them. James Clear calls it the habit loop: cue, craving, response, reward. Each habit starts with a cue that triggers a craving, followed by the response, the action, and finally, the reward that reinforces it. Recognizing your cues and cravings is a huge step in taking control over your habits. Once you understand the loop, you're ready to rewrite it. Clear outlines 4 laws to build lasting habits. Let's break them down. 1. Make it obvious. Bring your desired habits to the front of your mind. For example, if you want to read more, keep a book next to your bed. A visible cue keeps your habits top of mind. When Clear talks about making it obvious, I decided to apply it by putting a book next to my coffee maker. That small change has actually helped me start a consistent reading routine in the mornings. But I noticed that not every habit works the same way. For instance, keeping my phone by my bed for morning workouts just makes me hit snooze more. 2. Make it attractive. By bundling it with something you love, like we talked about with temptation bundling, you create a positive craving. Find ways to make your habits enjoyable. 3. Make it easy. Start small. Even 2 minutes is enough to build momentum. Want to get into fitness? Just put on your shoes and stretch for 2 minutes. Starting is more than half the battle, and once you do, you'll find yourself wanting to keep going. One area I think Clear could have expanded on is how these principles apply differently based on personality. For example, what if you're someone who gets bored easily with routines? How can you keep these tiny changes interesting? 4. Make it satisfying. Immediate rewards, even small ones, reinforce the habit. A simple check on a calendar or a note in a habit tracker builds the feeling of accomplishment. To really make these habits a part of your life, focus on your identity, not just on outcomes. Instead of trying to run a marathon, aim to become a runner. The more we see ourselves in a new light, the easier it is to make habits stick. Every time you act in line with this identity, even something as small as putting on running shoes, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. James Clear emphasizes the importance of shaping your environment to support your habits. Place reminders in obvious spots. Want to eat healthier? Keep fruits visible. Trying to stay off social media? Put your phone in another room during work hours. By designing your surroundings, you make good habits easier and bad habits harder. If you want to stop a habit, reframe how you think about it. For instance, instead of thinking, "I can't check social media," tell yourself, "I'm freeing up time for something more meaningful." Increase friction for bad habits. Put your phone in a drawer while working or uninstall distracting apps. I've used these principles myself to build a consistent workout routine and read more. Every night, I set out my gym clothes where I can see them, so it's the first thing I see in the morning. I don't check my phone until my workout is done. And to make it more enjoyable, I listen to my favorite podcast while working out. These small changes have helped me look forward to my routines. No willpower required. Atomic habits are about progress, not perfection. It's about becoming the person you want to be, step by step, one tiny habit at a time. Remember, you don't have to wait for the right moment. Start with just one small change. Every day, every action is a vote for the person you're becoming. This book has truly changed my life, and I hope this summary inspires you to give it a read. Let's start building those habits together and create a life that's true to the best version of ourselves. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing insights. Share in the comments what habits you're excited to start working on, and let's make this journey together.